Hello guys. So now once you launch your anti-gravity software, this is the first interface which you'll be seeing on your system. Now yours may be quite different because of operating system, and number two, probably because I've already worked on some projects, so they can be a bit of different in structure in the software. So but notwithstanding, um once you launch your anti-gravity software, you would have to open a folder. There are three different ways to open a repository or open a project. First is by opening a folder. That means you have to create a folder in your system and then open it on this or with this app, right? Second is to clone a repository. We've not yet reached the section of repository. We call it repo. That is when we start talking about things like the version control, Git and GitHub. Also, we also have Java, creating Java project. Now, these last two, we won't be looking at this. We'll only be focusing on opening a folder. Now, this is just the interface. Let me walk you through some of the other features. Now, here we have this feature called the agent feature. And in this agent, we have different models of Claude AI, right? Claude, as we said, we already signed up on Claude, but these are the different models. So Claude have different models. We also have Gemini here. Now, Gemini is owned by Google. So what I'm saying is that this anti-gravity software is owned by Google, and the Google Gemini have different models, which is Gemini 3.1, 3.1 Pro, Gemini 3 Flash. Once you install your software, you would have all these for free. But take note that the Claude Opus, Claude Sonnet, anything Claude, and then this GPT, they are usually limited, right? That's the usage, or the resources are going to be limited. It therefore means that there's a level that you prompt with these models and it gets used, right? The resources gets filled up. But for Gemini, since Antigravity is a software owned by Google, they gave us these three models for us to use for free. But then also take note that whatsoever thing is free will not give you the best quality. So it therefore means that these three models will not give you the best quality as compared to the Claude Opus, Claude Sonnet, and GPT this, right? So whenever you're working with a project you will have to select the model which you are working with. All right. Now this is a field where you can ask anything. For example, you can ask it to build a software for you. You can just ask it to create a simple task, a web application for you. And we have this section where you can upload media files. If you want to create a new conversation, just click on this plus sign and you start a new conversation with this agent. Now, basically, what we are going to be doing now is to show you how to open a folder. Now, it's not difficult. So click on open folder, then find any directory. It could be your desktop or your download or whichever directory. Just pick a folder of your choice and then launch it and open. That means the moment you open this folder within this software, you are directly interacting with a folder. So if you are building a project, you ask it to build like a website, it's going to build that website directly inside that folder which you just opened with this anti-gravity software. So basically, this is everything you need to know. And the next thing that I'm going to talk about is extensions. We call these extensions. Now, extensions are like small apps that extend the functionality of your of any app, right? For example, this anti-gravity, we have what is called extension. Now, we are going to install an extension called a Cloud Code. But for now, we are not going to be looking at in this video. We are not going to be looking at this extension because the whole process is going to be much for us to start setting up. So I don't want to make this video that long. So let's focus on okay, let me quickly open a folder. So I will go to my desktop and I will create a simple folder. I'll just give it a name, create a new folder, and this folder I'll give it a name, test 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 app, right? So now once I've created it, you can either drag this folder and drop it inside a project or just click and open. But I think to drag and drop would be best for us here because we already have these two windows open. So I'll just drag and drop here and I have this folder open. You always get this question: do you trust the authors of the files in this folder? Yeah, just click on yes, I trust. Now we have this environment set up for us to start developing stuff. We can ask anything here. For instance, so we can say, I would like to build a simple web page that says, hello, testing vibe coding, right? Now, I want to pick the model called the Claude Opus. I'll click on send. Now, you need to give it some time. So we now have our first website developed for us by this AI agent. Now let's go back to our agent. So as you can see, our AI agent has been able to build for us a simple website that displays, hello, testing vibe coding, welcome to the future of building. I never really provided this particular text for um, me provide it to our agent. I only supplied this information, hello, testing vibe coding, and it eventually went ahead to build this for us. Now, this is how smart this app can be. I didn't also ask it to give us all this gradient color and the other color combination. It's so smart that it finds out um, the best features to integrate to your software or your web app. But then that is when you really need to understand the concept of prompting. Prompting is giving it appropriate instruction. Make sure you give it the right prompt. Now, in the next lesson, I'll show you how to use ChatGPT to generate prompts, which you are going to be using to build your website. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next class.